This is Healing Forward. I'm Barbara La Pointe. Welcome to conversations that challenge, inspire, and transform you. From best-selling authors to real-life warriors, these are the voices that remind us our story isn't over. We are evolving. Healing is not a destination. It's a decision that we make every single day. So let's move forward together. 3, 2, 1. Let's get started. Everyone wants a platform, but very few people are willing to build one from the ground up. And let's be honest, it's not always that easy. So what happens when you stop waiting for permission and start creating your very own voice in media? Our next guest, Jessy Ruiz, has done exactly that, and I've watched her do it. She didn't just participate in media, she has helped build it. She is a true pioneer of English language broadcasting in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, and she's played a key role in English radio and English news television. Welcome, Jessy.
Thank you, Barbara. Hello, everybody.
Oh, I'm so excited you're here because I admire you so much because I've literally watched you build your own path here in media.
Yeah, well, it has been a fun ride, and I have enjoyed every minute of it. It's great.
Oh my gosh. Well, why don't you share with us a little bit about that journey and maybe the moment you realized that no one was going to hand you an opportunity that you had to create it for yourself? Because I know that you've done exactly that. You created your own opportunity. So with Asphalt Radio. So maybe let's start back there in the day when you weren't a media diva.
All right. Well, I've always liked communication because it's something that's really hard for me. It's really hard for me to communicate. So I went to school for communications with emphasis in marketing. And when I was in the US, I got to work with Telemundo, and I got to work with different radio stations in a commercial manner. But then that was like 20 years ago or more. And so I thought, after that, I met my now husband and I got married. I have, a different life. And when I got here to Puerto Vallarta, I loved it because there was a lot of English. There was a lot of people speaking all kinds of languages, not just English. There's a lot of tourism, of course. And I thought, oh my gosh, I missed this so much from the US. I think that's the only thing I actually missed from the US, that, the melting pot of cultures that you see out there. And so when I saw this, I thought, oh my gosh, I cannot believe they don't have anything in English on the radio, because I'm a radio lover and I listen to the radio all the time. It's radio and podcasts for me. It makes me feel like someone's right there with me at all times. And it makes me feel like I'm learning every day. And so I thought, I cannot believe that there's all of these people that speak English and there's not an English radio. If I ever have the chance, I will do that. And so every day I would go into my computer and, write down an idea of how I would do it and what I like and what I didn't like and what I saw people liked, the people that lived here liked and all that. But that was that. I have a business, which is a furniture store, and I would just work on my business. And then the opportunity came to me. And when an opportunity comes to you, you grab it. And a person from the radio show, from a radio station, they asked if I wanted to sponsor them somehow. And I said, yes, I will sponsor you. But I would like a radio show. And they said yes right away. They said yes, like they didn't, no questions asked. I said, okay, well, thank God I have a whole plan. Like I know exactly what I wanted. I presented it to them. They thought it was fantastic. And I started my radio show. But it was a little bit hard because, it's fun. It's fun to be on the radio. You get to meet a lot of people and you get to give all of these people, a voice, but it's not free. Like it's I mean, there's a price to it, right? And so I started to get sponsors. Started to get sponsors so that we could promote their business in order, to be able to showcase them in the radio. And it was a hard job, but we did it.
Watching you work over the past 4 years, one of the things I really admire about you, many things, is that you make the hard look so easy. And every time you do something, it looks so effortless. Really, truly, it does, because, you did have to create your radio show from the ground up. So tell us a little bit about, like, what is Asphalt? How has it made an impact in the expat world? And now, sponsors are coming to you and people are coming to you and saying, hey, I want to be showcased on the radio.
All right.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
No, I love that you're so passionate about radio. And the other thing I've noticed about you is that you're also genuinely passionate about collaboration.
Yes, I love networking and I love to meet people and have them collaborate. If someone's looking for a product or service and then this other person offers it, I love to connect those people, right? So, yes, I'm truly passionate about that. And I really, really love radio. And I think being passionate about what you do is the key factor of making things seem easy because it doesn't matter, you're enjoying the whole thing, so it's fantastic. And so I'll tell you a little bit about Asphalt Radio. Asphalt Radio, it's a small radio show. We have a 2-hour show every Saturday from 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. here in Puerto Vallarta. I like to talk about anything that has to do with Puerto Vallarta. So events, of course, community, nonprofits, random people that are interesting, have come up to the show. A lot of culture and rock, because I like classic rock. And I think a lot of the people, I mean, just visiting different bars here in Puerto Vallarta before I started the show, it was like, oh my gosh, everyone's in love with classic rock. and I like that because I used to be like a Harley Davidson girl back when I was in the US. And so I really enjoyed that music as well. And so I thought, oh my gosh, well, if they like it and I like it, and then we could just showcase the community and create a community, people that can connect and they can know about products and services and rules and regulations from Puerto Vallarta. And everyone can listen. If you're a tourist, if you're an expat, if you're thinking of moving to Puerto Vallarta, if you have family here and you're, in the US, Canada, or any other part of the world, you can listen because radio now is so modern, right? It's like you can listen to it on the radio, old school style, but you can also listen to it on the website, on social media, in all kinds of ways.
Yeah, obviously I'm a huge fan of the show and it's been a lot of fun. And you and the show have been kind of an anchor for me here in Puerto Vallarta. And you actually have built a community just through your show, and you've expanded it out to even doing English programming, English television programming with CBS News in English.
Yeah.
Language.
That actually has been it's been so much fun. And we've done CPS News, the only televised newscast in Puerto Vallarta in English. But then from there, other shows have been born in English. And I think that's very important. A lot of the people that have done this, that have created shows with me, it has been their dream, or it has been in the back of their head for a long time. And it's amazing that they come to Puerto Vallarta, they are able to do it, And I really love that. It makes me feel really good inside to be able to help someone, create or make their dream come true.
Do you think, I'm genuinely curious, that it's difficult to be a woman in media? And if I was asking you that question in North America, it might be more of a flat question, but I do find that Latino culture is even a bit more male dominated. have there been challenges or points along your journey building this, like really like a little mini expat empire you've built? You're very well known here, but what about points where you've been very challenged as a woman in media, carving out her own path?
Yes, being a woman in media is a challenge. I mean, I can think of things since I started back when I was 20 years old, right? Back in Telemundo. I was 26 years old when I stopped being on camera in Telemundo. And the only reason that I was like, okay, I think I'm not going to be on camera. I'm going to be directing, or I'm going to be marketing. I'm going to be, behind the camera now, because I thought at 27 years old that I was just too old for the camera now. I said, no, we need to have a new fresh face. This is not going to work. People are looking for younger, fresher, So that's the thing with girls, right? It's like you only have it until your 20s. And nowadays it's a little bit different. But back then I was like, okay, I'm like the oldest girl on TV right now. Especially on the entertainment side, right? Yeah. And so when I came here and, I started working for the Spanish news, I thought, oh my gosh, like I cannot believe that I'm now 40 years old and trying to be on camera. Like, what am I thinking? But I mean, things have changed a little bit. And also the show was different because now I'm the news girl, right? But other than the look, and we have to look good all the time, or else people don't like it anymore. That's like one of the challenges. The other one is also here in Mexico. It's a very male. It's like a male world, it seems like, right? Mm-hmm. And so it has helped a lot that now we have a Mexican president, and that's a girl, that's a lady. And I think that has changed the mind of a lot of people. But there's still, I don't know, old ways, I guess I would say, that guys or males seem more, I don't know, powerful, or I can't even describe it. But yeah, I have gone through some stuff like that, especially when I'm like on sales, right? It's like they're like, okay, you're a girl, you don't know about this, you don't know business.
They dismiss you. Yes, they dismiss you sometimes, but you've obviously conquered that because you're also very excellent at sales. So has tenacity or played a part in it, where you just keep going no matter what?
Yes, you cannot be afraid of anybody. You just have to face it and keep going, I think.
I love that, because back in the day when you started out, since you've been talking about it, it wasn't such a media forward world. YouTube wasn't as big as it is now. Social media wasn't there. And now, everyone wants a platform, and there's so many avenues to have one. But a lot of people start out and then they stop, or they fail, or they disappear. And what is it that's kept you consistent in your work?
Well, I think we have to see a radio show like a business. Like if you if you create a radio show or a podcast or a channel of some kind, you have to see it like a business. You have to see it like you have a door, you open the door to a business, you put the open sign, and then you're there, and if you don't open your business, there's, then you won't be able to sell. So having a radio show, having a podcast, having even a digital, anything digital, like you have to do this all the time, because if not, then it's a closed business type of deal.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's very interesting. On one of my first podcasts in this relaunch, I interviewed a gentleman that was in the United States, and he was actually deported back to Mexico. And this was kind of interesting to me. And I thought, well, I'll talk with him. And it was an interesting conversation, but I ended up admiring him because it was a very controversial talk, even though we did it through a very neutral lens. And today, telling your friend that you ate a ham sandwich for lunch could be a polarizing concept. Um, Sometimes, we're scared to be criticized or scared of negativity that comes when we put ourselves out there on social media. Did you ever deal with that type of fear?
Every day. I think we all do every day, right? And so, but I think what's selling nowadays, especially with all the AI and all the fake stuff, I think what people are looking for is authenticity. And so the more authentic you are, the more you show yourself as you are, the better people want to get to know you more. And so I think you have to understand that we're all human, we all make mistakes, we all have bad hair days, we all have you know all that stuff. And so I think people actually like it when you're not 100% perfect.
Yeah, I agree. We were all hungry for authenticity. And you also have like a sense of vulnerability when in your interviews as well, Jessy.
What do you mean with by that?
Oh, just your vulnerability is like meaning that you're willing to just be really honest or
Mm.
and very genuine, or you're willing to put yourself out there, and then even if a mistake could happen, because sometimes you might have a really great moment in an interview.
Oh, I get it. Well, that's because I grew up listening to the radio, and I think it seemed to me like most of the radio people that I listened to were very, you know, human. And so that's what I liked. And I think the more they were just themselves. And so I think there's no one else I can be, even if I'm on the radio, or even if I'm on TV, or even if I'm, right in front of you having a coffee. So I think it's important to show people your true colors.
I love it. And now that you're doing English news in Puerto Vallarta, what's great to you about living in Puerto Vallarta? For those that are watching and don't know how beautiful Puerto Vallarta is, through the news and through the radio and your own personal podcast, you're a pretty cool ambassador for Puerto Vallarta. So maybe tell us what you think of Puerto Vallarta. You're still here. You moved here and you're still here. You must like it.
Puerto Vallarta is addicting. It's fantastic. I love it. I was not never had in my head that I would live close to the beach at all. Like I really like mountain and cold and so I didn't never thought that I would like to live in Puerto Vallarta. I thought, oh, okay, we'll give it a try for just a couple of years, see how it is. But the people that live here in Puerto Vallarta, and like I said before, the melting pot of cultures, seeing so many different faces every day, and some of them are tourists, some of them are expats, locals, and the flavors of Puerto Vallarta, the beauty of Puerto Vallarta. It's a paradise. I really enjoy living here. And it's just friendly. It does say when you get here, welcome to the friendliest place in the world. And I think it's true.
It is really friendly. Yeah, it's a beautiful place and the food is incredible. You're never bored in Puerto Vallarta. There's always something really fun that you can do.
It's true. And I like also that it also, if you feel like being very Mexican and going to all of these Mexican events, or really embracing the culture, you have that. But if you feel a little more fancy and you want to, I don't know, go have a mimosa with a tourist, then you can do that as well. So you have like the best of both worlds.
Yeah, it really is true. It really is true. So we invite everyone to, you know what? come on down to Puerto Vallarta and visit and say hi to Jessy and myself. And don't forget to leave a comment as well for Jessy. I'm sure she'll make time to answer any questions. Smash that subscribe button. It's been so fun speaking with you about media, collaboration, and creating your own voice in media, which you truly, truly have done. And I acknowledge you for that, Jessy.
Thank you. Thank you. And I'd like to invite anyone that lives here in Puerto Vallarta, or even if you're out there, if you want to get your voice out there, if you want to, get your ideas out there, if you're an expert at something and you want to share it with the world, do it. Create your podcast, create your YouTube channel, do what Barbara is doing. It's fantastic. How do you like it, Barbara?
I think it's very activating and very empowering to actually express yourself. And it's very, very important. Yes.
And if you want to help, if you want some help on, how to get started and you're here in Puerto Vallarta, don't forget to look for me. I can help.
Jessy, how can folks find you if they want to connect or maybe be featured on your radio or television show?
Well, you can look for Vallarta's Asphalt. That's Vallarta's Asphalt on Facebook. You can also contact me by email, Jessy, Jessy, .Ruiz, Ruiz, at cps.media. It's so easy. And yes, I'll get back to you fast.
Yeah, I highly encourage you to do that. Jessy and I both have children. And I remember when I had a son, he sang in choir. And his music teacher would always say to him, Alexi, your voice is your instrument, inside of you. And so I encourage everyone to remember that your voice is not optional. It's actually your opportunity. So thank you for being with us here today, Jessy, and joining us on Healing Forward.
Thank you, Barbara.
Healing doesn't happen all at once. It happens in moments like these. Wherever you are in your personal journey, honor it. If this episode meant something to you, share it, leave us a review, and stay connected for more conversations that move us forward. Until next time, I'm Barbara La Pointe, and remember, keep healing forward.